All right, Renegade fans and family, we are back at it. Okay, so it is the next day. I'm pretty excited. Got some sleep, so I got some energy. Plus, got some caffeine. All right, so I had a really good idea. Well, it wasn't my idea. I was given a really good idea by my buddy Michael Barton, who actually, I'm gonna put his YouTube channel up here. It's fish. Something about fish and tanks of fish or something. I have to look it up again. I apologize, Michael. I don't have it on top of my head. But I'll put the channel right here. That being said, he gave me the idea because he has a Honda Ridgeline as well, and he's ran through all sorts of ideas with this over the years, and he is going to be helping me more information here and there. But he gave me a really good idea. At this point, because there's nothing in here, I'm going to take the battery, hook it up, see if I can get the windows and all that crap to work. Because if they work, this is going to be way easier than I thought, because then all I have to do is essentially adapt the ignition, and that's it. And that's easy, because that's just that's totally easy to do. So I can just bring in the ignition, and then the wiring essentially is taken care of. So yeah, it'll be amazing. But yeah, so let's go ahead and test this thing. Let's hook this up. All right, so let's go test this out. Oh, door locks work. Okay. So let's just see, does the radio work? It says enter code, so I can have that. Wipers. Ooh, wipers work. That's fantastic. Oh man, this just might work. Oh my goodness. Obviously, none of that works. Headlights. Can't turn those on at the moment, but I would guess that those work once that's plugged in. Does the heater work? Need to plug this in to see if the heater will work. One sec. Well, I plugged it in and fan is working. Everything is working here. So yeah, just have to be able to get the radiator fluid to the heater core once it's on there. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this just worked. Okay, we moved the tent to the back. We're gonna start working on the rear subframe. So what I have to do, a couple things, I think, before we can really drop the subframe, but not many, just a few. So what I'm gonna have to do is drop the trunk, which I'm really hoping that I can keep that, because that's a sweet feature of the Ridgeline. But I'll drop that, so, or once I get this up on jack stands, I'll drop that and take off the tires, and hopefully I'll be able to just lower that and pull it out and not have to worry about lifting up the truck or anything, because obviously with the front on jack stands, last thing you want to do is start pivoting this thing like I did earlier. So first things first, going to get this stuff out of here, and then work on taking that trunk out. Once the trunk's out, I think I'll have a little bit more visual, forget the word I'm looking for, you know what I'm talking about. I'll be able to see more of what's going on and get a better idea of what we're gonna do here. But this thing's moving along quite well. It's only my third-ish day. It's like 2.5, 3 days pulling this apart. So not knowing what I'm doing, I feel like I'm making pretty good progress. Let's go! All right, so removing the rear bumper cover. There's 2 screws, plastic clip, and then there's actually a screw right up in this little thing right here. So don't try ripping this out unless you have that. And then obviously there's a bunch of little clips along here that line up right here. So I have to remove those. Then we can pull off the other side, and I don't know, maybe we'll find some more bolts and screws. Okay, so what you're gonna have to do to remove the rear bumper cover, you gotta get the screws that are in the front, then all these clips right here. You're gonna have to take out the rear headlight because there is the rear headlight. Clip right here under the tail light. So you'll take that off. Behind the license plate, there's 2 10mm bolts as well. So you do that, and then this whole thing should come off. Also, don't forget about the license plate bulbs. Those are kind of needed to come out. They're just twist, just like your headlights. Okay, after much work and stripping down the back end of this thing, this will not come out. Took out the 2 bolts that are in the back, took out 2 bolts that are right there, took out the 2 bolts that are here, and tried lifting it, and like part of it, like it can come out a little bit, but it's just a plastic bending because it is firmly glued to the frame that I can tell. I cannot lift it. I've gone under it and tried to push up. Everything went under there several times to look, see what possibly could be holding it down, and I cannot find anything that is holding it. So this is gonna have to stay in there, which is kind of unfortunate, but it's gonna have to happen. So time to move on, to disconnect everything, to get the rear subframe out. Probably have to take the tires off and then hopefully drag it out. Probably have to use a skid steer to drag it out, but nonetheless, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm gonna have to do. So let's do this. All right, so back after it, after work. So I discovered how to get this bed off. When I was trying to drop the gas tank, there was a, right above the sending unit, there's a cover that's supposed to be able to come off, and I couldn't figure out how to get it off. I was like, well, shoot, there's got to be a way to get to the top. And so I was looking in here, and these little gap fillers that cover these bolts, there's 4 of them, and it's the reason I couldn't get it off. They were pretty camouflaged in the mud and dirt and crap. So there's 4 big ones, I believe, for this cover piece, and then there's something that is also held with 4 other ones that are under here that I'll find out in just a second. So if you're trying to take out the bed, trying to take out the floor of the bed, you have to take out all the panels, and then you're gonna have to take off these 4, and then there's 2 under the lid itself. That's under the front of them, like in this corner and the other corner. So yeah, that's how you're gonna do the floor of the bed. The side panels here, I'll show you. Okay, so what you're gonna have to do to get to the bed, to be able to get the bed off, first, take the corner piece off up here. Take that off. It's just some clips that hold it together. right here. It just slides on. It also has the light right here, so you just unplug or unscrew the light, unplug it, and then you should just be able to kind of put your hand in that hole and pull it firmly, and it should pop those off. Then you got the back panel here. It has 6 screws, 2 on this side, 2 in the middle, and 2 on that side. Or excuse me, 2. Right up here, and then down there, 2 in the middle, and then 1 up there and 1 down there. You pull that panel off. Now you can take your side panel off, but first you have to take the top. So you obviously can see it slides to the rear, pops off, but don't forget, you got to take this screw out. There's a little secret cover. You just pop that off with a flathead screwdriver, and it's a Phillips head screw. You just unscrew that. I obviously forgot to do that here, and it broke. But anyway, so unscrew that, slides right out. And then you have this side panel that has 2 here. You have 2 here, and then 1 down there. And once all of those are off, you can just pull the side panel out. And now I'm to the bed, which I'm assuming these 4 bolts will allow it to just come out, as well as the trunk. So that is what I'm working on now. All right, Renegade fans. All right, so this is what we did today. Okay, so far. I am already on to taking that apart. I forgot to film, neglected. I didn't really forget. I just did not do it. I was on a roll, you know, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it, and then I'll record, tell you about it. So this is what we did today. So far, we took down the gas tank and the evap thing. So there's a couple things with this. Whoa, snap. Watch where you're stepping. 3 bolts, right? But then also there's a wire that comes through here that is still up in the frame. These quick releases, you gotta have smaller hands for those. It makes it difficult. This is a quick release as well. That comes basically from right here, comes over here, right here. So there's a quick release there. Then there is a plug and or a vacuum hose. Gas tank is held on by four bolts. The strap comes around the bottom up into the frame. You'll see them very easy. Once you take off the heat shield, which is held by screws that are in the tank, little plastic screws are really easy. They're 10 mils. There's 6 of them, I believe, and they're on the bottom. Take off the heat shield, then you get to the straps. You're good to go. Now, unfortunately, I could not take out the bed because that bolt right there, the nut that's welded in the frame broke or came off or something, so I can no longer get that off. Other than that, if I was able to get that out, and then the rest of those 4 bolts out, those 2 and that one, this could lift out. It is quite heavy, actually. Nonetheless, it could come out if that bolt was off. So this is what it now looks like. Nice and bare under here. I will have to cut this to get that to fit on the frame. That being said, I will also have to take off this hitch because it is sitting below the frame. It bolts up to the bottom of the frame, or the chassis or whatever. So I'm gonna have to take this off. Good thing I didn't weld it, right? But take this bad boy off. That way it's good to go. I'll have to move the jack stands and all that to do so. Nonetheless, that is done. So this is all done and completed. Here's all the parts. And then what I have now done is taken off the bumper and 4 of the bed bolts so far. So we are making great progress. I'm hoping to have this completely disassembled this week to where I can start figuring out exactly where this needs to be placed on this. And hopefully in the next 2 weeks, 1 to 2 weeks, that will at least be sitting on this so that we can start getting it rocking with the steering column and the brakes. So that's what I've done today so far. I'm going to keep rocking and rolling. I'll fill you in as things happen. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the content so far. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that. If you're a big fan, it does help if you go to Patreon. Links in the description. And also my online apparel, that renegadeheadquarters.com. Go check out some apparel there. Order you a hat, shirt, whatever, hoodie. And that also helps support the channel and helps things like this. So guys, again, I appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one. Well, a couple hiccups. Forgot to take this bad boy off. So this fill tank. So it was mid detachment when I had to realize, or when I realized that. So yeah, other than that, here we go.